You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast
delivering player experience news.
Let's go! What's up, guys, and welcome to Podcast PXN, episode 215. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM on, yes, it's still Twitter. And I'm joined over Discord by the Nintendo aficionado and artist extraordinaire, Roshan Warner, at Roro.
Hiya.
Hiya. Hiya.
Oh my god. Yeah. Making a link joke, is that what you're doing?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And the host of Large Popcorn and video essayist Christian Macias at ISO Christian.
Yeah, two things
underscore.
To say.
Sorry.
Yeah, nice. Thank you. Underscore ISO Christian. Two things to say. One, happy birthday, Hello Kitty. And two, let me tell you, once these blog posts are finished for portfolio building, right back to Signalis video essay. Let me tell you. It's there. It's there.
Hell yeah. Ro's gonna watch it 80 times.
I'm gonna watch it probably. At least.
Ro, did you enjoy the 8-minute opening teaser I showed you?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I was like, oh, he's giving me a little bit of tease of the rest of the video. It was like, oh no, this is the intro. I'm sold.
Yeah, I'm trying to go hard on it. Yeah.
Love it.
The DMZ daddy, the Tarkov Teletubby, Gage Dempster at Gilbo Biggins is not with us this week, guys. He is definitely not playing Spider-Man 2 right now. But thank you to everyone watching us live and participating in the chat. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/@podcastpxn and twitch.tv/podcastpxn as well. The topic of the show this week, guys, is... Our question is 2023 the video game industry's worst year ever? In a year with a bunch of good games? We'll see. But first, the show always starts with the quick bites, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Little housekeeping first before we get to the quick bites. Christian Macias, happy belated birthday last week. We got it right after the pod last week, so
I love seeing the tweet from PXN roll right just before midnight Eastern time. Yeah, is it Christian's birthday today? Thank you, Dan.
Oh yeah. Second housekeeping item. I put this in housekeeping because not really news necessarily for us, but I thought it was important. Matthew Perry has passed away, unfortunately, and obviously well known for his roles in Friends and everything else, but obviously one of the most crucial video game moments for him is his role in Fallout New Vegas as Benny, which is the main antagonist in the game. And apparently he got the role because he was such a big fan of Fallout 3, and Bethesda called him and was like, hey, do you want to do this cool role we have? And he was super excited to do that because he was such a big fan. I thought that was really cool. I didn't even know that. So finding that out was pretty neat. But yeah, rest in peace, the legend.
Rewatch Friends. This man's a big fan of the original PlayStation. Always playing those games on the show.
Oh yeah. All right. Into some lighter news. Into the quick bites. Guys, I don't have any PXN news of the week because we have so much to cover here, so I'm just doing all quick bites, so you guys just chime in on whatever you got, as usual, for the quick bites. First, Xbox has officially announced their reorg, which has happened. It will probably happen again, I put in here, after Bobby leaves in 2024, but this solidifies some things in terms of Pete Hines' departure. So Microsoft is reorganizing and promoting Matt Booty to president of game content and studios, including the new responsibility of ZeniMax, and Sarah Bond to Xbox president, overseeing all Xbox platform and hardware work. On the marketing side, Chief Marketing Officer Chris Capicella is stepping down after 32 years at Microsoft. Of course, this means that Matt Booty will now lead an expanded organization, including inside Microsoft Gaming, which includes ZeniMax and Bethesda. Obviously, he was already in charge of Xbox first-party game studios, as it were. So no clarity just yet on what's going to happen with Activision after Bobby, but I'm sure we'll get that next year.
This is exciting to you, Dan, as a big Xbox player. I think Ro mentioned that Dan on the show last week, or at some point, predicted a change for Matt Booty coming soon, or Sarah Bond, actually. I think it was Sarah Bond.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, me and Ro were talking about the reorg stuff, and I figured that Sarah would get more responsibility, and she did. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe she will have a bit more ownership in Activision also. I don't know. We'll see. Very interesting. And to answer your question, I don't know that I could get excited necessarily about, CEOs and presidents and all these people.
Sure.
But yeah, it is interesting.
Well, cool people in leadership positions yeah.
All right. Moving to our next quick bite. There was a bit of scuttlebutt earlier in the week, and I think it got clarified a bit, which helped out quite a bit. I don't know if it necessarily makes it all go away, but unofficial accessories are being blocked starting in November on Xbox. They have a new policy that is bringing an error code when you plug in a unsupported, unauthorized third-party accessory, trying to use it with Xbox consoles. Xbox advises returning the accessory and instead referring to its list of authorized products on its website. So this created a lot of confusion for people, especially in the accessibility community, who use a bunch of weird controllers and such that they plug into the Xbox in order to get it, a nice experience for people who have accessibility needs. Microsoft did clarify this finally. Caitlin Jones, who is the program manager at Xbox for gaming accessibility, commented and said, regarding unauthorized accessories on Xbox, please know that there is no impact to players using the Xbox adaptive controller, nor any compatible peripherals plugged in via the controller's 3.5 millimeter or USB ports. So it sounds like essentially any of your accessories and such that would plug into the compatibility controller, the adaptive controller, will continue to work as normal. And if you aren't getting any error codes currently, then you won't have an issue when this policy takes place. So I am interested to see if this affects many people. I know there's a couple of companies that kind of do like some weird one-off type deals, but I don't know how big of a deal this is going to be, to be honest.
We'll have to wait and find out.
Yeah.
In the next coming of weeks, months, to see how much it affects people. Yeah. Want to keep on the radar.
Absolutely. Something else to keep on the radar, like Batman's radar. Batman Arkham Knight has reportedly added and then removed Robert Pattinson's The Batman suit. What? Like, this game has been... I think someone said that this game hasn't been updated in like 5 years or something absurd, and they're just randomly throwing in a Batsuit update and then pulling it away. What's happening here?
Why did they remove it, though?
Yeah, that was my question, too.
I'm guessing it's related to... Some people have said this, the Switch version,
Licensing?
I think there's a Switch version coming, and maybe they didn't mean to release it yet, and it's going to come to all the platforms when the Switch version comes out, is my guess.
Got it. Okay.
The screenshots that I did see, like the the ones that they were able to take before it got removed, looks kind of cool. Obviously, I'm probably not going to play it because it's, like you said, it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
Probably more since the game has even come out. But the costume did look really cool.
Heck yeah. Yeah, it's been what? It's probably been 10 years come next year, right? 2014, I think.
It's about Arkham Knight. Wasn't it 2016 or maybe 15 at the? Yeah. Come on now. Can't be 10 years.
Yeah, we're definitely not 2013.
Yeah, you're. It's right in between the two of us. Is 2015.
Okay.
15.
Yeah. Crazy. All right. Moving on to more crazy news. Skull and Bones is now launching between January and March 2024. For real this time, guys. It's actually sure. Yeah, it's happening. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no way. No way. They got to put this game out already. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to do well regardless of when it comes out.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. So just get it out there.
Indeed. Kill it. Take it out back and kill it.
Or that too. Yeah, that too.
Something we don't want to kill, though. Capcom is working on a next generation version of the Resident Evil engine, RE engine. The new engine was revealed in a presentation intended for developers that was published on Capcom's R&D channel, which was first uncovered by Okami Games. In a section titled RE Engine's Future, the presentation delved into some of the challenges facing the tech, including the need for a high degree of customization per game. Capcom's solution is to develop a new standard of engine that it's calling Rex. Rex engine will include all previous features of RE engine while adding support for new technologies and handling the growing size of assets more efficiently. The video is mostly intended for developers, but it was an interesting little tidbit. So, very interesting.
I think there was news today too that Resident Evil 9 it has like the biggest budget of any Resident Evil game and has been under production for the longest of any Resident Evil game. Just more to add to this, yeah.
That sounds awesome. Or I mean, hypothetically, ooh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, the RE engine's already so pretty. Can't imagine.
Those games are really pretty, yeah.
Can't imagine what the next upgrade from that might look like.
Capcom has literally the greatest turnaround in the last fucking 10 years. It's insane. Like, they were in such a bad spot, I feel like, 5 or 10 years ago.
Yeah. Whatever. Monster Hunter World, and then from there was like completely different company. Yeah.
I'd love to see it. And on the back of that, Capcom has also announced that an unannounced major title is coming by March of 2024. Some people are speculating, maybe in Devil May Cry or maybe Monster Hunter, since they haven't received full game releases in a long time. So maybe we get one of those.
DLC would be crazy. When was the last time we saw that? Oh, I guess PS5 had the
2020
the special edition. So that was 2019?
2020, yeah.
When did the PS5 come out? And Xbox. Was it?
Yeah, fall 2020. COVID year.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Insane. Almost as insane as a PS5 Slim bundle coming with Xbox Game Studios Modern Warfare 3. Sorry, I just had to throw that in there. For no added cost at $500. That's actually a really smart decision by Sony to make this bundle. Like, that's a free fucking brand new game. That's a really good thing. Like, that, that'll sell consoles, I think.
Especially for like the casual audience that plays a lot of, games like this, maybe who don't have a PS5 yet, or been waiting for like a sale or something. That's pretty big, especially during the holiday. Damn, that's where the partnership of like between, whatever game company and then Activision like really comes in handy for those kinds of holiday bundles and sales. That's crazy, dude. For free?
Yeah. Insane.
Damn.
Call of Duty also shared this image, which I thought was cool, of how it started versus how it's going to celebrate their 20th anniversary of Call of Duty, which is just insane to me. I thought this was a cool little image showing like an old school PC monitor, 4:3 ratio compared to an ultra wide monitor with Modern Warfare 3. It's just very crazy to see this franchise. Like, I remember fucking playing that original game at my cousin's house. Yeah, so crazy.
Does that make you feel old now? Because I mean, I remember playing the original one as well.
Yeah, absolutely wild. Moving on from there, Ubisoft says in their financial reports that a large game is delayed to next fiscal year. The game was originally planned to release before March of 2024, but will now come later. Many people are speculating that this is Star Wars Outlaws, which is the delayed game. So I guess they need more time, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and we just saw that this year as well, just around E3 time. Yeah.
Yep, we did.
I remember the I thought it looked okay, I guess, but I think most of us on the show were like, not super.
I was a little bit underwhelmed, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it's a good thing that they're delaying it.
Yeah.
If it is that game.
Give
Might
it
be
some
something else.
Give it some more separation from Jedi Fallen Jedi Fallen Survivor. Jedi Survivor. Jedi, I don't know what it's called.
I think it's Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Give it some separation from that. People are a little Star Warsed out at the moment. All right. This next one, I'm sure will piss us all off. The Finals has faced some criticism for using AI-generated voiceovers. Apparently, actually, I was reading about this, and apparently they used a version of AI voices early on in the game's development, and in the alpha builds like many months ago, apparently it was really bad. Like they sounded awful, and people flipped out about it, and I guess they went back and changed them, which I would assume that would have happened regardless. Usually that stuff, changes over time. Developers sometimes have recorded voices themselves early on in games. But yeah, apparently they're still using AI in the beta release, and people are not happy. Which
I would maybe understand if this was like a placeholder while the game was in development.
Right.
Maybe as far as even the alpha, like sure, like the game is still in progress. We don't have like final voice lines. If that were the case, I think it'd be more like I would definitely excuse it. That makes sense in the modern world. But if it's the intended use of these AI voices to come out with release, I think that kind of practice is largely frowned upon. I think even Steam, I think reading the comments, Steam, delists games that use stuff like this. One would hope that they would do better. Hence why the games, I mean, it's topic of the show. Video game people should hopefully, if they can, unionize.
I assume you're going to talk about the finals and What You Got For Me, though, Dan.
Yes.
I think you and Gage played it.
Yes, indeed.
In that. But yeah, this sucks. I echo everything that Christian said. I would understand if it was like work in progress voices, but it doesn't seem like that's the case here.
No.
Yep. And yeah,
I can't wait for you to get to this next item though.
Well, let's get it then, Christian. Let's get it on. I was gonna say something weird, and then I was like, I better not. All right, Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes are ready for production at Remedy. They just released Alan Wake 2. Of course, they released Control before that. So it sounds like Control's sequel is still going to be in conceptual proof of concept phase for a little bit longer, while Max Payne 1 and 2 will be their focus. Be cool.
I think Remedy might be in my top 5 favorite developers.
Wow.
I think. I am so impressed by the level of craft that they do. Obviously, Control was a big breakout, I think, for me in terms of like what that studio can do. Like that changed the game for me. And seeing all the praise for Alan Wake 2, publicly on Twitter, but also privately from my friends who got the game, who were like, friends I regularly talk to, and like, hey, this is something that like, not just that I would like, but that's like, hey, this is worthy for you to like analyze in like a video type of way. I've gotten people telling me about like that in regards to Alan Wake 2. Like, yeah, dude, going back to redo Max Payne 1 and 2 while still like having Control 2 be in the conceptual phase for a while, like I trust them to let them cook, because I know they're gonna do like some absolutely insane products whenever those are ready to come out. And Max Payne is freaking awesome. Also, I love 3. Some people didn't. I love Max Payne 3. It rocks. So yeah, I'm all about it, dude. I can't wait to see what Remedy's doing.
Which it makes perfect sense that they're making the remakes, because they made the first 2 games. So the original developers.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
I can't remember if Remedy did Max Payne 3 though.
They did not. Rockstar did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
I threw this in here because Gage put it on our doc. So here we are. But it's an interesting story. Grounded Playgrounds has been announced. It's some sort of an expansion for Grounded from Obsidian. It's basically like a Forge mode for Grounded. So if you're not aware, Forge is the creative tool set in Halo to create your own maps and modes and stuff like that. So you will be able to craft your own levels from the ground up. No pun intended there. Create puzzles, mini games, battle arenas, place AI, and more. There's no limit to the number of objects, which that seems insane. Hundreds of system changes and improvements that also come along with this update as well. So very cool that they keep doing updates to Grounded.
I have no comment on this, but I've seen videos of people streaming this game, and you know what? Actually looks pretty fun. Actually looks really hard, even.
Yes. Survival games galore.
But
But this last story, I know Ro is just screaming from the rooftops about this, and by screaming, I don't know if it's, him screaming at Sega or with them.
If he's mad or if he's happy.
Yeah.
Don't know what kind of screams they are.
Yeah. But Sega has announced a new Sonic game, Ro, and it is called Sonic Dream Team. It's a brand new 3D Sonic title coming exclusively to Apple Arcade on December 5th, Ro.
So yeah, this is one of those. You asked me what kind of screams I was making, and like in the first half when they announced it, I was like, "Yes, happy screams," and at the end, I was like, "Angry screams," because it's a Apple Arcade exclusive, which inherently isn't a bad thing, but it looks good, so it is bad because I wish it was on actual consoles. I think it looks like a fun game. I'm upset that it's trapped on Apple Arcade because, as the entire community has been saying, not everybody has an iPhone. A lot of people are speculating that Apple actually paid Sega to make this to promote Apple Arcade, and is also why it might also look as good as it does compared to the games that they fund themselves, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, it looks good. I'm just sad that it's stuck on one, not even a console. It's stuck on a phone. So
on a subscription, no less.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
As just to attach to that, earlier today there was an interview that came out about Sega wanting to surpass Mario as like a mascot. Simply, I'm just going to read the quote really quick. Simply put, I want to surpass Mario. This is Osama Oshima speaking. He's a Sega executive director. Sonic is a game that was originally developed to compete with Mario, and it still hasn't achieved that goal. Our goal is to catch up and surpass Mario because we respect Mario. I want people to play it all over the world, including Japan, like Mario. And I want the movie to be a bigger hit than Mario. I would like the USJ to create a Sonic area as well as Universal Studios Japan. That's our goal for those of us who love Sonic. End quote. So as Christian said, I agree. Good luck with that.
Good luck, man.
It didn't work the first time. I don't think you guys have come far enough to say that yet. I love Sonic, but Mario is just huge.
Also, like the level of quality of games alone,
that's true, yeah.
is like another. It's just there's no. It's hard to compare the two.
Yeah,
I love Sonic though, but like, come on,
yeah,
it's tough.
If you're just doing like mascot to mascot, even then, I think Mario still comes out. But like you said, the games just the games by themselves are already better.
You know what, guys? Yesterday at Halloween, I didn't see a single kid wearing a Sonic outfit. And you know what else I saw? I didn't see a single kid wearing a Mario outfit. I saw one kid wearing Master Chief. Boom.
Really?
Yeah.
Them both.
One
it
kid.
you?
One kid. No, it wasn't me. A kid, Christian. It was one kid. No, it was an actual kid. I was like, hell yeah. And actually, I gave him more stuff. I said, you can take candy
Just
and
because?
Pokemon cards.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So there it is. All right. Let's move into the street meats, run over some meat here. Take this as you will. Gage sent this, I believe, as well. maybe take with a grain of salt because of the source. We'll talk about that in a second. But we have details on Valve's possible next game called Neon Prime. This comes from Okami Games, which he's not the source, but the source is from Tyler McVie, which apparently he had a lot of Counter-Strike 2 stuff that was accurate and Steam Deck stuff that was accurate before that. But he also said, as I'm reading from the comments, he also said that Left 4 Dead 3 was going to release like 2 years ago. So obviously that didn't happen. So not confirmed, but somewhat of a source. We'll see. Alleged details on Neon Prime expected to be their next game. It's going to be a third-person MOBA light competitive shooter with class-based and team-based features and huge, fully destructible maps. 2 teams on a very large playing field with the end goal being to defeat a big enemy at the back of the other team's base. Each class will feature unique abilities and personalities comparable to Team Fortress 2. It has a sci-fi setting with Dota-adjacent lore. The map is huge, and there will be trains on the map to take you around. Voxel-based destruction allows for near fully destructible maps. Think tear down. Different classes can issue commands to their team. Tyler thinks we're very close to an announcement. Trademark was recently renewed and additionally went through a secondary process of approval to be used in an actual product. So maybe we'll see something on it soon. It sounds crazy.
I don't think I've played a single Valve game, man.
Really?
Portal, I guess. Portal.
Okay.
Portal.
You haven't played Team Fortress 2?
No.
Man.
I want to play Half-Life Alyx as well, but
I think I actually haven't played a Valve game. Like actually.
Oh my gosh. No.
Does that hurt you?
I think I played like Portal
Prime.
like on a school computer in elementary school.
That's crazy. What do you mean elementary school?
Elementary school.
In high school, sorry. It would have been high school, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
Elementary school. I don't think the computers would have even ran it in that.
Yeah. I don't know. This sounds interesting though. I don't know. We'll see. I still can't believe you haven't played Team Fortress 2, Christian. Like that's fucking insane to me. I love that game.
I didn't.
So much.
That was on the orange box, and I did not have the orange box. Is that right?
Yeah, it was on orange box. It was also standalone on PC before the orange box. But
I didn't have a PC until 2 years ago.
That's fair.
I had a laptop and Minecraft.
You didn't buy the orange box? That was such a great value.
I know. I was in high school. I didn't have the money for a bunch of
That's fair.
I picked like Call of Duty and Uncharted, and
you were a casual back then.
No, well, maybe.
All right. Second street meat item. We'll have more to talk about this company in the topic of the show, but Bungie reportedly had Escape from Tarkov streamers play marathon. This comes from Aztec Cross, who is reporting that Bungie had Escape from Tarkov streamers play marathon, and they did not seem interested in the game. Bungie asked them if they would play marathon if it released tomorrow, and no one raised their hand.
No way.
Yeah. So
I listened to this video today. There's nothing really to add on about the Tarkov stuff. Most of the video was about what we're going to be talking about in the topic of the show. Apparently, no Destiny 2 people were invited. It seems like it was like they're going for a different complete audience with this game, which is good and bad, I guess. Yeah. Nobody liked it apparently.
I think that's largely good though. At least they have like a clear vision that they they're aiming for a different audience than their current one, which I think is good. But that's rough to hear. One would think that sure, it got announced, but it still has a lot of time in the oven before it's we even see it publicly. One would hope that this is actually maybe even beneficial to the actual game now. Better now than later, if that's true.
Better now than the open beta.
Yeah.
Time will tell if Bungie can fix marathon or other things that we'll talk about. Moving into the fantasy draft check-in. Oh, I apologize. I meant to check to see if there was any other ones that I missed, Christian. Thank you. Yes, moving into our Fantasy Critic check-in, we have Alan Wake 2, which has gotten reviews, and I was super excited at first. It started at like 92. It fell 3 points.
Yeah, it was real high.
Yeah. It fell 3 points. It's now 89. Still very good, but I lost some points there. 89, so I got 19 points from Alan Wake 2. Hell yeah, I'll take it. And also, just a little add-on to that as well, since we're here talking about Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2 developer Remedy has confirmed that 2 expansions are coming in 2024. Expansion 1 is called Night Springs and is currently due late spring 2024. Although Remedy said that the release window is subject to change. Expansion 2 is called The Lake House, which is yet to receive a release window. So stay tuned for those expansions. Christian added Jusant as well, which I will have to look up.
I got you. I mean, it's on the PXN thing.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Got it.
Yeah, so it's currently Open Critic wise, it's 82, I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's Liza P. I'm looking at. Jusant is also 82. Yeah, so 82 points. That's 12. And I don't know if you noticed, Dan.
Yeah.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, I did.
If you look at the total points, Dan is at 175 current, with 2 games to go.
Yep.
And I'm at 174 with 4 games to go.
Yeah, I lost.
We'll see, because you still have Persona 5 Tactica and Super Mario RPG Remake. Great. Those are like 80s, not like high 80s, I think, guaranteed. There is not a lot left in the calendar for the rest of the year. I'm not going to say what I'm going to decide on for my. I have still 2 drafts left. But then that leaves me with Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, which I think I'm pretty confident in, and then Hollow Knight Silksong, which again, I don't think is releasing this year.
What the fuck? I thought that was releasing last year.
Same. I mean, remember Xbox or Phil Spencer saying every game that you saw is releasing within the next calendar year or whatever, 12 months.
Yeah.
I have to see if I have enough for a drop. And if I can drop it, then like, well, now it's 3 games I have to draft. What am I getting? And I don't like the ideas that I've had so far for my drafts. I'll tell you what.
Well, why don't you tell us your ideas? Because no one else here can draft anything. We've already.
Is that true?
Yeah, we've filled our teams already.
Okay, Engage can't.
Can't I drop Cookie Cutter? At least I tried to. I don't know if I'm.
You probably can't.
I tried. I don't know if it'll go through.
Yeah, never mind. Then don't talk about it. I didn't realize how many fucking points Ro's getting. Wait, we missed one. Star Ocean, the second story. That must have just got reviews because it's at 85 on yours, Ro.
It came out either today or it's coming out
tomorrow.
The reviews came out today. But yeah, I think
okay.
right, it comes out tomorrow. But I got it at an 85. My points haven't registered yet. But Slay the Princess got enough reviews from last week, so the points actually registered, and I got 20.
Holy shit!
But Star Ocean is probably going to be the last time I get points on this, so I think I'm out of the race.
You'll be in the 160s, and if something comes out that's negative on mine, that'll put you in the positive. Yeah, that'll put you in second or maybe even first.
Sure.
But I'm just surprised that I'm happy that Slay the Princess eventually got enough reviews. Good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Some upcoming games on the way. Like a Dragon, the Man Who Erased His Name comes out next week, so that's coming for you, Christian. Then the week after that is Persona 5 Tactica and Super Mario RPG, both on my team, releasing the same day. I didn't realize that. Yeah, and Sons of the Forest is not coming out this year, Gage, in full features form. So that's just hilarious that didn't come out again. In full form. Anyways. All right. Moving into what you got for me, Daniel. What you got for me? Well, I've got Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I've been continuing to play it, loving the hell out of it. Obviously, has its own issues. it's quite a bit buggy, like you guys have been talking about. I've noticed more and more bugs as I've been playing, but still enjoying the heck out of it. Still a really good experience. I made it to some crucial story points that, I can say that I made it past the Venom suit because that was part of, symbiote suit.
Trailers and stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I made it to that point, past that point. So very excited. I've been doing a shitload of side missions. Like the one side mission I shared with you guys was, I was vaguely shared with you guys was the birds one that Christian, I think you know what I'm talking about, which that was such a cool side mission. I really liked that mission.
So I found out there's a traversal thing you can do that is even faster than any of the stuff you can do by I'll just say this. In this game, you can slingshot yourself and you'll go fast, right? And then you can hit L1 plus triangle if you have that ability unlocked to like zoom fast, and then you're even going even faster, right? You can unlock a traversal upgrade where you dive and then open your web wings, and then you go insanely fast. There's all ways to go super fast. There's one more that's just like a hidden way to go the fastest I think I've discovered yet. In the traversal tree, there's an upgrade where while you're swinging, if you hold circle in the direction that you want to turn, like a 90-degree sharp turn, you can swing and just boom, you'll catapult yourself into that direction.
Like slingshot.
You can slingshot sort of. You can do this at the top of buildings if there's like an antenna. And you'll just, if you hold circle, you'll keep going around in circles.
Oh.
You'll go insanely fast, and then you'll slow down if you keep holding it. But if you time it just right to at the peak of the spin, you'll go the fastest I think you can in the game, and it's so cool to do.
That's pretty cool.
I saw a video on Twitter about somebody comparing the speed of the first game to the speed of the first game, and it's insane how much faster Spider-Man 2 is. It's like people have been saying oh, this game puts the first one to shame. Like now that gameplay is obsolete. It's like they might be right now, which is great. That's awesome that they were able to improve it so much despite the bugs and stuff. But seeing it side to side like that, I was like, wow, they really, really. I haven't played it yet, but what I've seen, they really improved the traversal, even though it was already so good.
So much fun, swinging around. Very good, very good. I also played the finals beta with Gage, as I alluded to, or you alluded to earlier, Ro, and actually had a lot of fun with it. It's very fun. I always hate playing a new first-person shooter though, because you have to fucking dial in all of your controller settings and sensitivities and all that shit. But once I got that dialed in, I was enjoying the hell out of that game. It's very fun. One of the modes you play 4 teams of 3, and essentially everybody's trying to get to this vault to take this cash box out. You take the cash box out, and then you have to deliver it to a drop-off point. And then once you drop it off, you have to hold that location for I don't know, it's a minute and a half or something, while it's depositing into your team's funds. And that gets insane because all the teams are pushing in from all different directions, and it's really fun. Had a lot of fun with it. And the announcers, I know they're AI, and that definitely sucks that they're doing that, but the announcers are they literally remind me of the NBA Jam announcer, here we go, it's getting turned up. They just say these random ass lines, and you're just what the fuck's going on? But it fits the atmosphere of what's going on in this game. But yeah, hopefully they cast some real people to actually do them. But yeah, lots of fun. Bro,
I wanted to play the finals. That's been on my radar for a long time, and I wasn't able to play this weekend with any of my friend groups celebrating birthday stuff. But yeah, I was celebrating birthday stuff. I'm sorry.
It's still going through Sunday.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah. Then I'll download it.
Hell yeah! I'll definitely play. Hit me up. I'm off Friday as well. So
okay.
All right. Ro, what you got for me?
I played Muse Dash, and it, which is a rhythm game.
Oh yeah.
But that's it. That's all I play.
What is that on?
It's on Steam. I've
Oh,
had it for a
okay.
while. I got into it a couple of years ago. Just trying it again, which trying some songs that I haven't played, playing songs that I have played on harder difficulties. But that's
yeah.
it. All I've been up to right now.
Very cool. Christian, what you got for me?
More Spider-Man 2. Yeah, I've done, I think, almost all the side content. Like, I left a couple things just for me to take care of later. I ended up maining a lot of the campaign, and I got to some interesting moments in it. I think I can. I think I'm near the end. I got to a big moment. I talked to my friend who'd already beaten it, and I said, "I just did this. It feels like I'm close to the end." And he's like, "We still got a little bit of ways to go, but you're approaching it." And this is about the point where he said he didn't kind of like the place where the story was going, and he didn't tell me any details. He just said, "I'm curious to see how you feel about the story beats." And so far, there are a couple of small things in it that feels a bit too far-fetched. I'm not fully into some of the things that they're doing. But compared to how I was last week, kind of like not as high in the story, I am much more invested than I was last week. I know Gage felt similar with his stuff, but unfortunately he has a game-breaking bug and he can't progress, which is a shame because this game's kind of buggy. I've gotten like a lot of videos of my characters like stopping his animation of like mid swing and it's just like a flying like immovable person.
Yeah.
Or like sound bugs where the game goes fully deaf or not deaf, but no noise at all. So I have to like quit and then go back in. Just a lot of small stuff and maybe like another month of polish would have maybe cranked those out.
As soon as Gage told me or told all of us that that he had that game breaking bug, I decided in my head that I'm gonna create like 10 save files. So
Smart. Okay. Yeah, I'll do the same.
Never hurts to be safe. And sorry. Gage has had this on here for forever. I'm deleting it. Gran Turismo based on a true story. That's long gone, Gage. All right. Moving into the topic of the show, guys. 2023 might be one of the worst years for the video game industry with massive amounts of layoffs. Of course, it was a little bit of a quick clickbaity title saying it's the worst year ever. Lots of great games this year, but obviously the turmoil of all the turnover and layoffs at studios is just not good. And definitely some work needs to be done there on publisher side to make sure that this doesn't happen going forward. And yeah, it's terrible. But as part of that, Bungie is the next in a long line of studios this year to succumb to those layoffs. And this, of course, comes 15 months after Sony finalizes $3.7 billion deal to acquire Bungie. Bloomberg is reporting that 8% of Bungie's staff was let go following warnings after Destiny 2 popularity was dropping. Revenue was down 45% below projections for the year. Of course, Tom Warren's inserting his own stuff here, saying, "I know many Destiny players that have simply had enough of the game." So,
yeah, I mean, I haven't played it in a while either. I kind of fell off with the last expansion.
Yeah. And that's part of the problem with building a game like this, right? Like, you're building around the success of a platform that never stops. It just keeps going, I don't know. We've still got more here to talk about, but before we get there, let's take a trip down memory lane back to February of 2022, when Bungie leadership assured employees that Sony's deal would not result in layoffs or restructuring. For developers working at Destiny 2, that's not what I was looking for. Bungie employees said leadership has assured them that there would be absolutely no layoffs and nothing major in terms of restructuring once the Sony deal closes. The acquisition represents a notable shift for the Washington-based game developer, et cetera, et cetera. So how we went from the point of Bungie leadership saying, "Oh no, we're fine, guys. Sony acquiring us, we're not succumbing to their layoffs or anything like that." Seems like that wasn't quite accurate. And more about the actual layoff itself, the layoff decisions came directly from Bungie management, not Sony. This is not about Sony replacing Bungie employees with their own people. Many employee benefits, though not health insurance, only last till the end of the month if you're let go. Laying people off on the 30th means a single additional day of coverage, which is insane. Many employees had unvested shares as a result of the Sony purchase. These shares would be received based on staying with the company for a certain number of years following the sale. But those shares revert to Bungie if you leave, even if you're fired, which is what's happening now to those affected. Many Bungie employees that were fired found out in the morning that they were locked out of their services, logins, and email access revoked. Others who instead found out during meetings were told not to tell other team members themselves, as teams would be told by other means. Many employees were unable to say goodbye or exchange contacts. Many team managers were not even told at all about who on their team was being laid off, and only found out as it happened. And to add a bit more context to the stock situation, a former Bungie employee that worked during the Halo trilogy era, Jamie Griesemer, he tweeted out some background here. The company will award you 100 shares of stock, but you only get 25 today and the rest in 2 years when you vest. And he puts in parentheses, and then they fire you 1 day before you would get the rest of your shares, which Jamie talks about his own issue with that when he worked for Bungie back in the day. So yeah, that's not good. Lots to bake on there, but fuck, that's a lot of bad shit. Like fucking coverage only 1 additional day if you get fired on the 30th, and obviously all these people were fired at the end of the month. Insane.
That's the kind of that is the kind of action why you see people calling for unionization in the video games industry. Lack of healthcare is such a huge thing to have to stress about.
Yep.
Like on top of like job searching, to have like 1 day of healthcare before you're completely out on your own in a world, and specifically like in North America here, where acquiring healthcare is tied entirely to your employment, and your options outside of employment are not good. It's something that people just should not have to deal with. This is just atop the trend of numerous layoffs in the industry this entire year, or even like companies like Naughty Dog, one of like what I would call one of, if not the most prestigious studio in the video game industry, facing severe layoffs. It's not good. And Dan, did you even go into detail about who was laid off yet from Bungie? Is that
no? That is coming up.
We'll get there in a second. Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll talk about it when you get to that point.
Okay. Yeah, that's insane. I can't fathom. And insurance is so expensive if you don't get it through an employer.
Yes, dude. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So continuing on the back of that, so some more context behind the layoffs as well, which I do think this is important as well. So Sony was the one that was asking for the layoffs, of course, because they're the ones who own Bungie, but Bungie is the one who enacted the layoffs and planned them. Sony's basically like, you got to make this many cuts, you got to hit this bottom line because you're not making enough money from Destiny 2 anymore. And Bungie got the, leeway to do it however they please. So Paul Tassi adds, this may be part of a wider cost cutting at Sony in multiple areas, but as an independent entity who gets cut, the timing and terms as above are Bungie's decision. To clarify an earlier point, health insurance lasts until severance ends. Other benefits end today. So, not good. So Christian, you were asking about
yes,
who this is gonna involve and what's gonna happen here. Michael Salvatore and Lorraine McLeese, two grizzled ancients of Bungie, were both laid off. And I don't say grizzled ancients as, me trying to call them old or anything. That's literally what Bungie calls the people that have worked there for so long, like 20 plus years. They have worked there before. Okay, Michael's a different story. Lorraine has worked there for well before Halo, even before Halo was a thing. She was working on all kinds of shit. She's the one who created the Halo logo, like fucking insane. Michael Salvatore worked with Bungie as a contractor well before Halo came into existence, so he has always been around the studio before that. Marty O'Donnell brought Michael on board after Halo CE came out, but fucking this man, Michael Salvatore, this man has just made, helped make some of the most revolutionary music ever created with the Halo fucking series, Destiny, with Marty and without Marty, and arguably without Marty, he did even better content after Marty was gone, with, Forsaken and Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, even the newest stuff, Lightfall. But yeah, like it's insane to me that Michael Salvatore, he's gone. Like, I don't even know who's replacing him, and like that's insane to me that you're, yeah.
And to be working on did you just mention it? What is that forthcoming expansion?
Yeah, the final shape.
The final shape.
Yeah.
To be in the middle of a like one of the most important projects for Destiny,
which I suspect that's pretty much wrapped up in terms of music, and that's maybe
I don't know.
You don't?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but like that's still a couple months away.
Yes.
Like I reckon there's still like a lot of like touches you have left to do in like in engineering or mastering or getting like adjustments on tone and stuff. Yeah, maybe some of the larger pieces are composed for sure, but like there's still work to be done.
Yeah.
Did we include his tweet here, or not his tweet? His like.
That's what I was.
Thank you.
Yeah, Michael. So then, Paul Tassi reached out to Michael, and this man is far too kind. Because Michael responds and says, "Hi, Paul. Thanks for reaching out to me and for your kind words. The last 24 hours have been crazy, and I'm still sorting through my feelings. Many of my good friends were also let go, and I feel awful for them. My heart goes out to everyone who lost their job yesterday. Regarding myself, the overwhelming feeling I have is one of gratitude. Beginning in 1997, Bungie provided me the opportunity to contribute music to some of the most amazing games ever made. I've been truly blessed to work with so many awesome, creative people over the years. I've learned so much from them, not only as a composer, but as a human being during my time there. One of the things that I always loved about being I think he meant to say being a part of the team, was our willingness to take risks, which has always been a part of Bungie's DNA. And when we would fail, we wouldn't retreat, we'd reload. That is at the heart of what kept me engaged year after year through success and failure. I truly wish the best for my friends who are still there, and I have no doubt that they will be able to right the ship. To the fans, please don't hate on them. Give them a chance to blow you away like they've done so many times before. Peace to all, Mike." So, very amicable, as he's straight up fucking legend, and really insane that he was this nice, especially the circumstances.
And on his website.
Yes.
Did you see his website?
Yeah, Gone Fishing.
Gone Fishing. Went in and is completely removed all his work and just wrote Gone Fishing. Which I think some people have speculated. I think maybe he's a little bit, probably hurt.
Yeah.
To be on the receiving end of the layoffs, considering his legacy, which is extremely unfortunate.
Like no. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm going to bring her up later, but there's so many people who don't. Everybody who got laid off probably did not deserve to be laid off. I think we all agree with that. But people like Michael and Lorraine, especially so, because of their legacy, like you said, and they just don't get that. I think what they earned was a retirement. Like, I don't know how long they're going to be there, since they've already been there for so long, but the way that they have to exit is because they got fired after all the work that they did is just like such a kick in the nuts, in my opinion. As you guys were saying about all the amazing stuff that they did, they don't get to leave on their own accord is such a shitty way for their careers at Bungie to end, being grizzled ancients, if that means anything to the people who laid them off. But the person who I was going to bring up was Leanna Rupert, who was the community, community person for Destiny. Yes, community manager. That's the word that I forgot. But she got laid off, and I thought she was a great community manager for Destiny. But her husband was also laid off earlier this year, so now they're like, just both of them just out of the job, and they're worried about their house, and it's like, I don't.
I know how that feels.
It's like, it's crazy. It's so crazy. But and what Michael was saying about we should give Bungie a chance to blow us away and like support the people that are still there, and to an extent, I do agree with that sentiment.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when we're supporting the devs that are working there, we're also supporting shitty people who are making the shitty decisions, who don't get any repercussions for their shitty decisions. They still benefit from us supporting the devs. Even though when we support the devs, no matter if we support the devs or we don't, people are still getting fired and we're still getting laid off. So at a certain extent, I feel like I don't know what the answer is, because if the answer is to support the dev, then why aren't you supporting the people that are working there? And if we don't support the devs, of course, there's still going to be layoffs because you're not making enough money. So it's like, what do we do?
Yeah.
And like the crazy part is like these two people specifically, but like you said, Ro, all these people, none of them deserved to be laid off, I'm sure. But these two people specifically were instrumental in making Bungie the success that it is today. And like to just throw that all away is insane to me. And I understand, or I shouldn't phrase it that way, but like I know why they did this, because I guarantee you Michael Salvatore and Lorraine were both getting paid handsomely for working there so long and being, original team members. So it was an easy way to say, oh, all this cash is gone because, they're two very high paid employees. I'm sure. I'm projecting that. I don't know that, but you could assume that, I guess. So yeah, insane. I can't fathom that at all.
I mean, for the player base, as well. Yeah. How would you feel as like a player who is seeing, the final shape was already delayed, and now you're seeing, key members from the Destiny team be laid off in this way? That would leave me like with a confidence that is just utterly shaken. I've already been having like a lot of complaints in these past seasons, and now to see this on top of it, it's just like, all right, what are we doing?
So what are we doing? Pete Parsons, dad, CEO at Bungie. Pete tweeted out, "Today is a sad day at Bungie as we say goodbye to colleagues who have all made a significant impact on our studio. What these exceptional individuals have contributed to our games and Bungie culture has been enormous and will continue to be a part of Bungie long into the future. These are truly talented people. If you have openings, I would highly recommend each and every one of them." Yeah, okay. I know Pete has had a lot of issues over the years as well. Before I go into this next part of Pete as well, Pete has been there since 2002. And January 2016, Harold Ryan stepped down as president and Pete Parsons took over. So he's been there a long time, but still hasn't been there as long as fucking Lorraine and Michael Salvatore, who he just let go. Anyways, so the second part to this is Pete Parsons' behind-the-scenes comments claims that the layoffs were due to Destiny 2's underperformance. So let me, where is it here? Yes. Employees were told that Destiny 2 player sentiment was at an all-time low. Sources tell IGN that this issue had been flagged to leadership repeatedly for months prior to the layoffs, with employees begging for necessary changes to win players back. One former Bungie employee recalled that they were repeatedly assured following the 2022 acquisition of Bungie that there would be no layoffs, and cited an item from a Sony quarterly report that claimed 1.2 billion of the 4 billion acquisition was going explicitly towards staff retention. Multiple employees confirmed that money was distributed to employees who were fully vested, with money split into multiple payments over time and varying based on discipline and seniority. Other employees also told IGN they felt especially frustrated with the layoffs, given that the company had completed work on a brand new headquarters, more than double the size of its previous office, and likely a pricey upgrade in Bellevue, Washington.
When they could just work from home.
Yes, exactly. Parsons was criticized in some quarters for calling the layoffs a sad day at Bungie, etc. We just talked about that. But yes, you're exactly right, Ro. Like, Bungie has expanded its work from home program like significantly, where you can literally work at Bungie from a ton of states now, and remotely. And why the hell they needed to double their studio size when they have all of that going on, I don't quite understand that either. So, like, it does sound like mismanagement there. Like, let's go buy a brand new studio just because we can,
Because we can. And Pete Parsons' response about the right people are still at Bungie is so bad.
Yes. Sorry, I was trying to find that and I couldn't find it. Yes.
I think he mentioned it at the beginning of this. And I was like, why did you hire them? Like, were they not the right people when you hired them, and they the wrong people now, so you let them? Like, there's so much wrong with that statement, but that's just one of them. But
how would you feel if someone let go to be seeing a note like that?
Yeah. And even the people that are still there, like, wow, I feel shitty. Like, I'm glad that I'm still here, but like, those people that got let go were my coworkers or my buddies.
Yeah, and we've seen that from some people that are still there, the survivor's guilt, so to speak. Like, not survivor, but like, still at Bungie guilt, which is it's terrible on both sides, both aspects. I mean,
and the Destiny retention being low also doesn't link up with the people who are working on Destiny begging the leadership to do the things that would make Destiny retention be higher, and they're just like, no, don't do that. We don't have time for that. So they don't have time for that. They don't do it. Destiny retention is low. They don't get as much money, and they have to let people go when they could have just maybe spent a little bit more time making the changes that the players want.
Yeah.
And then they potentially make more money.
Yep. And very well, those changes that they want to make may have been, something that you have to delay an expansion or delay a game a little bit. But it's like, at the end of the day, the most important thing in a consistent online multiplayer game is keeping your fan base happy, because if they're not happy, they're not going to continue playing, as we've seen so many times before in every other game that fails in this space. And the other thing is like, I don't know how Bungie's structured in terms of like their suits and stuff, like their board and stuff like that. But what I do know is Jason Jones is still the founder of Bungie, and he's still there. He has been there since day one. Him and Alex Seropian started Bungie, and I feel like Jason Jones should have a decent amount of say, if not all the say. I don't know how that works with board members and all that jazz and stupid corporate shit. But like, if you're Jason Jones sitting back and watching all of this unfold, you have to sit there and be like, is there something I need to do and step in and, make my voice heard and fucking, replace Pete or whatever needs to happen in order to fix this, because like it is a bit of a shit show right now. And the reason Bungie has been successful for so many years is because the people that work there and them interacting with the community in such a great way. Like, that is literally the pillars of Bungie. That is what Jason Jones and Alex Seropian started Bungie with the goal of. So like, yeah, I guess we'll see. I guess time will tell on that. Since Pete has worked there so long, I find it hard to believe that he's going to be pushed out, which is unfortunate if, he's the one that's causing all the problems, which it sure seems like it. And yeah, it's so unfortunate for such a developer that's very close to my heart as well as Ro, with Destiny. And yeah, it's just it's terrible. I hate to see this, especially with all the fucking Bungie stuff that I own. I don't want to fucking wear that if I,
Right.
feel like shit wearing it.
You're
I don't
guilty
know.
wearing it. Yeah.
Hard to get excited for the future of a lot of these games when there's a lot of turmoil in the studios itself.
Yeah.
Yes. I like what you're saying about like how Bungie is with their community. Like sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. Most of the time, if it's bad, it's usually because the community is being kind of jerky about it. But Joe Blackburn, like the game director for Destiny, like he would like do like how we're doing right now, like talking to people potentially about the game and just like be so honest about it with like the people in chat and just like, okay, this is what we want to do.
Yeah.
And it seems like he couldn't do it because of the leadership, but he did like a stream a little while ago.
On
like
his
people
own.
were like, yeah, just on his own accord.
Yeah.
It's like people were upset about one of the bosses in Destiny. Is like, this is way too easy. You could solo, and he's like, no, you can't. And he did a stream, and he did it. He did it solo. It was like, okay, guys, prove me wrong. You guys can solo this. We need to fix it and adjust the difficulty and all that kind of stuff. But it's like devs don't. I mean, companies don't do that very much. Like, so it's cool to see that transparency. And again, sometimes it doesn't work in their favor, but it's still cool to see.
And again, that's a credit to the people. Like, if Joe wasn't there to do that, maybe someone else isn't there to do that. Like, that's the point. They have the people that are willing to do that kind of stuff, and that's what makes them so special. Like, having those people and that actually care. Like they may say, there may be some developers out there that say they care, but then they don't back that up by actually like caring and like showing that they care with the things they're doing. Like, yeah, if you have these people, like, you should be cherishing that and nourishing that, and I don't know, make that relationship better, not lay them off. And obviously, like, there is some context. Like, obviously, Sony is coming to Bungie saying that you have to lay off people, or but obviously, everything we're talking about is ways that they could have gotten around that if they had made Destiny continue to succeed.
And I was going to say maybe the timing could have also been better. I don't know if Sony made them choose when they had to lay people off. Just that they had to lay people off. But I think I cut Christian off.
Well, it's also that time of the year, usually before holidays, and you see some of these cuts being starting to get made. It's getting close to like the end of the quarter. Again, investors want to see profits, and one of the things that holds profits back is high head cost, and a lot of people. One quick way to fix that is to cut a certain percentage off, and it's extremely unfortunate. I think the thing for me too is with Sony, if it's however it happened behind the scenes of Sony demanding cuts, is I kind of worry honestly for next year, given how much Sony has spent into games as a service, or how much they plan to spend, I should say, as well. They're fully investing into this, and there seems to be, again, already a lot of trouble on the service end with obviously The Last of Us, and with Marathon. I'm not sure about the others, but if it does lead that way, and they're not getting the return that they were hoping for, you might see a lot of layoffs, come 2024 and 2025, which is not good.
The Horizon multiplayer game, right?
Well, that too, man. Like, that was rumored years ago. Yeah.
Christian, you did allude to this already, but Bloomberg is reporting that Bungie is delaying Destiny 2's final shape expansion to June 2024 and Marathon to 2025 amid layoffs. Which, if Marathon's having problems, it might be longer than 2025. But I don't know.
Yeah, I really hope they could pull final shape off. Lightfall, not it. So I hope they could stick the land. And Cade 6 coming back. I'm thinking about it now. I don't know if I like it.
I love it.
The more I think about it.
Oh, I love it. Give me more Nathan Fillion.
Nothing against Nathan Fillion. He's great. But man.
All right. So out of the Bungie stuff, guys, an estimated 6,500 jobs have been cut in 2023 in the industry. That's just an absurd number. The largest impacts 900 to Unity, 830 Epic Games, 535 at Amazon, 375 at EA, and 326 at Embracer Group. Those are the big ones. But yeah, that sucks. That is an insanely large number, 6,500 for this year, and that's why we're having this discussion of like, is this one of the worst years in the industry in terms of all of these layoffs happening? Like, we're seeing great games, but like we're seeing it returned with all these record layoffs.
Yeah, I think there's also like this is gonna get weird, but I think it also has a lot to do with like the current economy of like, not just the game sector, but like all sectors. Like, I think we're like at if not at a record, we're like approaching some record numbers for like unemployment, especially here in North America, with a looming recession that's been projected for the past couple of years. I want to keep it game side, but yeah, it's not good in the world of capitalism here in the U.S. and Canada.
Well, and you had a high in 2020 with COVID where games were as popular and as big as they ever were, and then it just has slowly.
Yeah, the games industry breaks in tons of money.
Yeah.
All right, but here we are.
I don't. It seems like they just aren't. I don't know how it works in these offices, obviously, but I'm just from what I know, the very limited knowledge. It doesn't seem like they're like adjusting for different situations and different like climates in the economy. They just want to see growth, no matter what. And even if the economy doesn't, I don't know, it like that's not going to happen this year, guys. No matter how you look at it, that's not going to happen. They just don't see that, and they just want to see growth, whether it be with this Destiny story, with low projections, and Square Enix, like, oh, this is not meeting our expectations, even though it was really great in a different year. That would be like, wow, we're the greatest company ever. But for some reason, since you didn't make as much as last year, it's not successful. And it's like, no, that shouldn't be how it works. But I think most like capitalism, like you guys were talking about, like all companies just want to see year over year growth, even though it's that. How can that happen? Every year you're getting bigger and bigger. Like, I guess that's the goal, but I don't see how that's realistic.
Not just bigger, like exponentially bigger. Like, it seems like they want every year. Like, and the guys at the top aren't making any less when you got fucking Robert and Tokol from Playtika making $372 million in this year. Bobby Kotick from Activision making $154 million this year. Andrew Wilson from EA making $34.7 million. Like, obviously that's a huge gap between Bobby Kotick and him, but fuck, that's still a lot of money.
What is Playtika doing? Who is Playtika?
I have no idea who Playtika is. Yeah, no, probably a mobile developed publisher.
Maybe.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
of course, the fucking predatory platform right there.
God,
awful. Yes. Awful time in the industry right now. And like, my last question here is, how do we get, and this is coming from Ryan McCaffrey, he shared this, which I love this, so I put it in here. How do we get the industry to follow the late Nintendo president Satoru Iwata? How do we get them to follow his wise, things that he did? Like, when Nintendo had issues or struggled, Iwata took a pay cut. So in the 9-month period ending December 31st, 2013, the company's revenue earnings were 499 billion yen, down 8.1% on the year before. Profit took a harder hit, falling to 10.2 billion yen, which was down 30% at the time. Et cetera, favorable set of, recoup some of this, etc. But as a result of that, Nintendo president at the time, Satoru Iwata, will take a 50% pay cut for the next 5 months in recognition of the downturn in profit, while other board members would take cuts of between 20 and 30%. Like that, I think that's probably a portion of the reason why Nintendo is so consistent with the teams that make their games, because they have more retention in terms of, they see the CEO at the top that's taking a 50% pay cut in order to help them out and like not cause these mass layoffs that the rest of the industry is dealing with. And like, I think that does show some importance there of that.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
No, I was just gonna agree. Honestly, like the retention employee rate at Nintendo is 98.9% apparently.
Yeah.
So, like the people that work there stay there usually, and for the reasons that Dan said. So that's great. That's awesome. I'm happy to see that, because Nintendo makes some weird business decisions most of the time, but I'm glad it's not against the people that work there. At least it's against the consumer who have the choice to spend money on them if they want to. But yeah, it's good that they're treating their employees right.
It's gonna take, I don't know what it'll take, Dan, but how do we get anyone to be more like Iwata? How do we get like any CEO or any leadership? It's gonna take a lot for our current kind of way we go about business to change entirely, which is extremely unfortunate, because no one cares about the little guy, and we are an ocean of little guys that are still struggling to swim.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. So we will close out the show unless you guys have anything.
Well, I guess I'll add this.
Okay.
I put in a bid for my final 2 games on Fantasy Critic as we were talking. I'll announce those next week. I'm nervous.
Oh, you're nervous.
Mhm.
Like
I'm scared.
nervous about getting negative points, or nervous as in?
You'll find out next week.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
There's a tweet that I wanted to read earlier from Julie Munchie.
Yes.
I don't know whom they are. I think they're a writer, but I thought it was a pretty great tweet. I love that the corporate strategy is, let's guess how much money we'll make this year, and then if we don't meet their guess, they ruin a bunch of people's lives instead of trying to guess better. Like, so true.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better.
Projections are insane.
Good lord.
Square Enix, we're looking at you with fucking Tomb Raider wasn't a success.
Funnily enough, she has a Kingdom Hearts logo, or Kingdom Hearts icon as her profile picture.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. Square Enix, we're looking at you.
Insane.
Squeenix.
All right. Well, thank you to everyone joining us live on YouTube and Twitch, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Thank you, Ro. Thank you, Christian. I am Daniel, and this has been Podcast PXN, and we are out. Much love, and keep on gaming.
Happy birthday, Hello Kitty.